I had a request to try to work out problem number 1 on the 2015-2016 test. So I'm going to go ahead and do that here. The problem is y equals 11/7 x minus 3 and 22x minus 14y equals 42. So this one looks like a good candidate for using substitution to solve. So I have this business right here, and that, so 11/7 x minus 3, and that equals y. Y is already isolated for us, so we're going to replace y here with that. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little copy of my equation and bring it down here, and I'm going to take this, copy it, and replace y with this. So now I need to start simplifying it. When I start simplifying it, I've still got 22x minus, now I've got to distribute 14 times 11/7 x. Well, 7 and 14 share a common factor of 7, so the 14 would become a 2 and the 7 becomes a 1, so I end up with negative 2 times 11, and the 7 as a denominator is gone, so 2x. But I'm still going to be doing negative 14 minus times negative 3. That's going to be a positive, so I'm going to focus on 14 times 3 being positive. So that'll be plus 42, because 14 times 3 is 42. Negative 14 times negative 3 is also 42, and that's what I've got. And that equals 42. Wait, that wasn't 2x, that's 2 times 11, so that's 22x. I fixed that. So that was back when I reduced this 14 times 11/7 into 2 times 11, 2 times 22. Now, you might notice 22x minus 22x is doodly squat, so that equals 0. I've got plus 42 equals 42, which is just 42 equals 42. If I get a situation like that, when I've worked everything out, and I get 42 equals 42, or some number equals itself, 0 equals itself, what that tells me is this is a true statement, and it did not matter what my x and y combination was. There are multiple, in fact, infinite x and y combinations. This means, so this has an infinite number of solutions, and this means they are the same line equation. Okay, so you might be wondering, how can I have two different equations of the same line? Well, this is in the slope-intercept form. There's my slope of 11/7, and there's my y-intercept of negative 3. So I'm going to make a note that my slope equals 11/7, and my y-intercept equals negative 3. Well, if I look at this one, this is in the ax plus by equals c form, and slope we have worked out equals, let me do this without that turning into an uppercase letter, m equals negative of a over b, which means it equals the negative of 22 over negative 14, which equals the negative of 11 over negative 7, which equals 11/7. So my slope is the same. M equals, oh, come on, M equals 11/7. And my y-intercept equals c over b, which equals 42 over negative 14, which equals negative 3. So my y-intercept is the same for each of these, and my slope is the same for each of these. So they are the same line. They go through the same y-intercept point, and they have the same steepness. So they are the same line, and that is why They have infinite solutions and are the same equation.